Hi everybody, let's have a look at USD JPY, and we are on the monthly chart as you guys can see. And in regards to the monthly chart, we can see that price had created a very large structure over here, which is an overextended W structure, where this leg is the first leg of the W structure and this leg is the second leg of the W structure. And at this point over here, more or less, we have the neckline of that W structure, as you guys can see. And you guys know by now that when it comes to W structures, ideally we want to see price break above the neckline, come back to the neckline, and at that neckline is where we would look for potential buying opportunities, right? So similarly, we can see that the neckline of this particular W structure is yet to be tested, and ideally, as I said, we would love to see price come back to this level to test it, and at this level is where we would look for potential buying opportunities, right? I hope that makes sense. So what I'm going to do now is just add a neckline to that structure. Let's see. Just bear with me, guys, while I add my neckline, and we could say that more or less this is our neckline. And just remember that necklines are an area and not so much an actual line, right? Anyway, let's proceed. So what else do we see, guys, in regards to the monthly chart of USD JPY? Another thing that I see that is also very much important is the fact that we have this candlestick over here. It is a bearish candlestick with a small body and a relatively long lower wick, right? Which tells us that at this level over here, there's a lot of liquidity sitting there, and that there is scope actually for the market to move further down to this level, and not only to trigger that liquidity but also to test this neckline that we have over here, right? Another thing that I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to just utilize the Fibonacci retracement tool. I just want to see if the neckline aligns with any key numbers that we have on the tool. So just bear with me while I add my tool. Let's see. Right, and there we go. We can see that the neckline of that huge W structure that I just showed you aligns with the, we could say, 50% Fibonacci retracement level. So in conclusion, we could say that, as I said, guys, should price come back to this level, we will indeed be looking for potential buying opportunities, and that is because number one, we have that huge W structure. Number two, we have the neckline of that huge W structure at this point. Number three, the neckline has been broken to the upside, and number four, the neckline aligns with the 50% Fibonacci retracement level, right? So that is confluence, right? And as much as I'm saying that, I'm not necessarily saying that should price come back to this level we will just be buying. No, we're going to look for further reasons for why we should be buying at this level over here, right? Anyway, let's proceed. Let's see. So what else do we see? At this point I don't see much, so what I will do is head down to the weekly chart. And here we are on the weekly chart. The first thing that I can see in regards to the weekly chart is the fact that we have this entire move, right? And we can see that price is in an upward trajectory, right? And we can also see that the slope of this trend is very, very steep, and this also tells me that a reversal is imminent. It tells me that a reversal is imminent, and that is because generally speaking, trends that are this deep usually don't last too long. At some point they have to move further down to retrace, right? Anyway, let's proceed. Let me just zoom in a bit and let's have a look at the weekly chart of USD JPY, right? So what else do we see, guys, in regards to the weekly chart of USD JPY? Let's have a look. Another thing that I see at this point in time is that in regards to the weekly chart, this level over here is the previous all-time high, right, in regards to the weekly chart, and it's also a very strong level of support, right? So at the very least, if price doesn't revert to this level, it must come down to this level to at least retest this support area, right? Also, to add to that, we could say that we have a W structure at this point, right? It doesn't look like a W structure, I know, but it is a W structure, and it has a neckline at that level of support, right? So I'm just going to mark that area as well, because it is also very much important. So just bear with me, guys, while I mark that area. Let's have a look. We could say that more or less this is the neckline of that W structure, right? And I'm also going to use the Fibonacci retracement tool to see if that neckline aligns with any key numbers that we have on the tool. Just bear with me, guys. Let's have a look. Let's see. Right, and we can see that the W structure over here, right, which has a neckline at that point, the neckline aligns with the, we could say, 38.2% Fibonacci retracement level, which means that should price from where it is revert to this level, we might potentially be looking for potential buying opportunities, right? Because at the end of the day, we are still pretty much in an uptrend, as you guys can see, right? I hope that is clear, right? Anyway, let's proceed. I'm just going to delete this. So what else do we see, guys, in regards to the weekly chart? Another thing that I see in regards to the weekly chart is the fact that price at this point in time over here seems to be losing some steam, because we can see that it's rejecting at a very specific level. And to add to that, we also have a candlestick over here. This candlestick over here, it is a liquidity candlestick. It's a bullish candlestick with a small body and quite a long upper wick, right? Which tells us that where that wick ends right at the top, there's a lot of liquidity sitting at that point, and the market needs to grab that liquidity, right? And perhaps once the market has grabbed that liquidity, we might potentially see a reversal, and at least to this level, right? Anyway, let's proceed. In fact, before we proceed, I just want to mark that liquidity candlestick, because it is also very much important. And just bear with me, guys, while I do so. Let's see. I'm just gonna mark it over here, and I'm gonna make it a different color. Just bear with me. Let's see. No, in fact, that's fine. Let's just leave it. I'm just gonna head down to the daily chart, and here we are on the daily chart. Let's see. Right, so what else do we see in regards to the daily chart? In fact, before we proceed, I just want to start off by adding my daily channel. So just bear with me, guys, while I add my daily channel. Let's see. Just need to ensure that it is pretty accurate. There we go. There goes our daily channel, more or less. Let's see. There we go. Right. Remember, guys, on the weekly chart I spoke about how this level, or rather how price at this level seems to be losing momentum, as it seems to be slightly going sideways, as you guys can see, right? And remember, I said that price needs to head to this point to trigger that liquidity, and perhaps once price has triggered that liquidity, we might potentially see a reversal. And another reason why I say we might potentially see a reversal is because if you look at what's happening up there, we have this formation possibly forming, which is a head and shoulders pattern, which would have a neckline more or less at this point, right? So if we do get confirmation, we might potentially look for selling opportunities at this point if we get confirmation, right? However, at this point in time, the market is still very much strong, as you can see that we had, or rather, the last 3 daily candles were quite strong, right? So let's have a look and see what happens over the next couple of days, right? Anyway, from here, what I'm gonna do is head down to the H4 chart. Here we are on the H4 chart. I'm just gonna fix my channel, so just bear with me, guys. There goes my channel. So what else do we see in regards to the H4 chart of USD JPY, right? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. At this point, I don't see much. However, I think I should start off by adding my H4 channel as well. Let's see, H4 channel, I would add it in this manner. There we go, more or less. there goes my H4 channel. So just bear with me, guys. Let's have a look. Okay, I would add my channel in this manner, more or less, right? And what do we see in regards to the H4 chart, right? On the H4 chart, guys, remember I spoke about how price at this point seems to be moving sideways. Can you see that, guys? Right? And what may potentially happen is we have a market that's moving sideways, right? We might potentially see a breakout to the upside, which would not only go up to trigger the liquidity at this level, but in my humble opinion, it would be inducing people to take buys, and at that point we might then potentially see a small M structure, and price may then push further down, right? As I said, right? So we should be looking out for something like this in terms of a pattern. However, before we sell, we would need confirmation. Having said that, at this point in time, I don't see any buying or selling opportunities at this point in time, right? I don't see any buying or selling opportunities. I think the best thing to do at this point in time is to actually wait for price to push further up to trigger this liquidity, and at that point, if we get a candlestick that closes on the H4 chart as a bearish candlestick, and it's also a reversal candlestick, I would then sell, right? However, I think we just need to be a bit conservative, because as I said, because we have in this area price moving sideways, right? Price may push further up to trigger the liquidity at this point, and then it may offer us a small little M structure in this manner, and that's when we may possibly sell, right? If you want to be safe, it may be actually a good idea for you to wait for the market to close below this trend line, right? And once it does so, then look for a potential selling opportunity, right? So that is it as far as my analysis goes. I hope that makes sense, but in as far as buying or selling at this point in time, I don't see any opportunities. Rather wait for price to reach this level over here and see what happens next, right? Anyway, that's my analysis, and peace out.